Welcome everyone, and thank you all for taking some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about Sun Peaks. Normally when we do the training we can ask around and see who's been or who's heard of Sun Peaks. So some of the information, and since I can't do that, we're going to go through sort of the 101 and as well as highlight some of the new items and products and experiences that we have going into next winter. If anyone has any questions on our summer experiences, maybe just jot those down in the chat and we can touch base on those after the presentation. But today I'm going to primarily speak about our winter and our ski season here. So without further ado, welcome to Canada's Alpine Village. And there we go. I can change my slides. So again, some of this might be redundant for you. Some of you experts out there that are very familiar with Sun Peaks, we'll just go through the beginning of this quite quickly here, just where we're located. And as you can see on the map there, you'll see our logo right in the center, just outside of Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, in the interior of BC, known for light, dry, easy to ski powder. We're accessed, probably 90% of our clientele in the wintertime fly through Vancouver, connecting in Kamloops, and then up to the resort on the ground transfer there, which takes upwards of about 40 minutes or so. It's a very easy road. Kamloops Airport's very small, so it's nice and easy and quite a leisurely, casual travel experience there, that internal flight. We also have the inter-resort connections through Whistler. So you'll see at the bottom there the Whistler connection on Sundays and Tuesdays. And for those that don't know, the way the service schedule works, if you have clientele looking at skiing at two of Canada's largest ski resorts, Whistler and Sun Peaks, ideally you would want them to start in Sun Peaks. So fly into Vancouver, into Kamloops, spend 5, 7, 10 days in Sun Peaks, then take the shuttle over the Duffy Lake Road, that's at Highway 99, over to Whistler. The reason you'd want to start that or go that direction is the shuttle picks up in Sun Peaks about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so your guests won't miss a day of skiing. If they come the other route, they can, and start in Whistler and then shuttle over to Sun Peaks, but that way the shuttle leaves at about 7 a.m. So they would actually be in the shuttle and on the road during ski time. But either way will work. I'd recommend starting in Sun Peaks, going the other direction. Now, Sun Peaks has been around since the resort development that you see in the photo here has been around since early 90s. 93, 94 is when the real resort development started. We're very proud of some of the accolades we've received within industry as of late, in particular the Condé Nast Traveler Reader Poll, top 10 family ski resorts in North America. One award that we've just received this morning, it's not on here, is Holidays with Kids. And we actually were ranked, just this morning we got the notice, the #1 resort, Whistler was #2, the #1 resort for village location and atmosphere. So we're really happy with that. The interesting thing on that award, while it sounds great, we look at our village experience different than Whistler. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. I think it's a different experience. Ours is a little more quaint, a little more intimate, a little more laid back. Whistler's got the real urban feeling to it. So a little bit different, but regardless, we're quite proud of our position there and the recognition with Holidays with Kids, Ski and Snowboard with Kids magazine. So moving along. And here's why you're all here today. The top 5 new experiences in Sun Peaks. You'll see the top photo there is our new winter Segway tour. It's very unique. I don't know of anywhere else in the world that you can do this. I did ask our operator, provider, and she did say that there were 1 or 2 other places, but you can't really see on that photo. They actually made custom chains, so the 1-hour Segway tour can puddle around within the village core, and then there's some groomed track out where our golf course is in the valley, so they really get to see a good area, similar route of where you would see the dog sledding, snowmobiling, and cross-country skiing as well. So, but a fun new activity. More importantly, the new family evening activities, and these are a great addition, not only for the children, but for the parents. As you can imagine, we have a lot of families coming over from Australia with younger children. parents can drop the kids off at these events, and it's about 2 hours for each evening, and they can actually have an opportunity to go out, do their own little après, have a nice dinner on their own, and your kids are looked after and they're well entertained in a great, safe environment down at the Kids Center. Our village itself continues to expand. We're happy to say that we've just come off our best winter in history in terms of top 3 out of 50 years recording for snow, and our best year in history for occupancy is also with room rates. So good commissions are out there to be had. The demand is certainly up. And with that, within the village, we're seeing some entrepreneurial spirits. Retro Arcade is opening up for those that want to play the old Pac-Man games, etc. And it's actually right beside a old-fashioned candy shop, which is really a nice treat to pop into there. And for me, anyways, I can relive my youth eating some of the candy I used to have when I was a little guy. We talked about Whistler Connection already, and then the private Gills Backcountry Tour. Now this is a bit more specific or targeted to a little more advanced skier or someone that really wants to excel and learn to grow on skis. You'll see in the photo on the bottom there, that's actually Bodie. He's the lead guide and the creator of this tour, which was actually ranked #1 new tour by Ski Canada magazine last winter. Bodie's an amazing guide and mountain survival coach, so to say. He also is a helicopter ski guide with Mike Wigley's Heli-Ski, and he offers a very concierge service. It's $3.99 for 2 days. The guests get into the backcountry, and I'll show you on the trail map where they go. They get a little bit of mountain awareness, a little bit of avalanche safety, mountain safety, a little bit of instruction, but most importantly, they get that real concierge service, hands-on experience with the local that really makes them feel that they've got the absolute most out of their holiday. Finally is the new improved beginner area. We've taken one of our magic carpets from an underutilized area and moved it right outside the sports school. So the beginner area is now a fenced off area. It's got its own private magic carpet to move the beginners around, to get them to progress over to the other area. So it's a great progression zone. It's just a fantastic way to enhance that experience. By moving it over to the sports school directly adjacent to it, also improves the amount of time that the guests get actually learning to ski as opposed to transporting themselves over to the older beginner area. As noted, the village itself, it's ski in, ski out. It's a great shot on the bottom there. The main street there is groomed at night. Guests will come out of their hotels or condos, ski through Main Street, grab a coffee on the way to the lift in the morning, and obviously ski in through Main Street at the end of the day as well. More importantly, though, throughout the day, if those need a rest or are tired or want to pop into their accommodation, it's so convenient to ski right through Main Street at the bottom of the mountain to pop in and drop off a sweater, pick up a sweater, grab a snack out of the hotel. If one of the kids forgot their gloves or something, it's very easy to get back to the hotel. And in that shot, you'll see lining the covered walkways on the edges is where all the cafes, restaurants, and shops are located. But Sun Peaks is known primarily as a skier's mountain, and I say that as snowboarders as well. It's absolutely huge. There's actually 136 runs now across the 3 mountains that all funnel into the village. The village sits in the cradle of the 3 mountains that surround them, so there's 360-degree range of skiing around the village. And the nice thing about it is there's a green, blue, and a black run at the top of every chairlift. So groups of different abilities can ski together and ride the chairlift together, but ski the right type of terrain or right style of terrain for their ability. Make sure that when you book Sun Peaks, especially for your first-time clients coming here, to recommend the Sun Host Tours. It's almost imperative. It's also rated as one of the best experiences that guests have in the resort, bar none. So it's a free tour, takes about 2 hours, and as you can see, it goes at 9:15 and 1 o'clock each day. The groups are based on ability, so just head down outside the Village Day Lodge right at the base of the lifts. Your clients will see a sign for beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and These boys in the orange jackets, and ladies too, with big smiles on, just introduce themselves and off they go. It's a great way to see the mountain, and if you have clients staying outside the village core, more towards the East Village area in the condos and townhouses, vacation homes, the guides will actually take them, excuse me, not guides, the hosts will actually take them on the tour past their accommodation. So they'll have a very good sense of how to get back to their condos and townhouses at the end of the day and how to start their day the next morning. Unique to Sun Peaks as well, obviously, is Nancy Greene. For those that don't know, it's written there, her little bio, Olympic champion, Canadian Senator, etc., etc. The accolades go on. But she's absolutely outstanding as a guide and a host and an ambassador for skiing and tourism anywhere, particularly in Canada, particularly in Sun Peaks. She skis with the guests generally every weekend. She's in Senate in our capital city of Ottawa through the week, and then she flies home and skis with the guests most Saturdays and Sundays, and of course through the holidays, and when the Senate isn't in session, she'll be out on the mountain as well. Great way for your Australian skiers to come back home and say they've skied with an Olympic gold and silver medalist, 13-time World Cup champion, and she got a couple of tips that she can hand off to everybody to ski more efficiently. It's not a lesson. I think you'll be able to see my mouse. I'm just going to circle it right in the middle of the screen there where it says just below P3. That's really the village core. So this sort of gives you a better idea of the 3 mountains that surround the village. Where I'm circling my mouse is an easy walk. You could walk between the top and the bottom end of the village in about 5 to 10 minutes. There's still over 20 different restaurants and eateries, more than 20 different boutique shops. So it's a comprehensive village, but very compact, easy to get around. You'll see the 3 mountains that surround the village, all unique into themselves. With that amount of terrain, over 4,000 acres and 136 runs, the comprehensiveness of the village, it's easy to understand why our average length of stay for Australian skiers is 18 nights. There's a lot to ski, and there's a lot of dining options for different tastes. You just don't get bored here. I'm going to go quickly through the next few slides. It's going to talk a little bit more about some of the non-ski activities. And following the webinar, Charlie will send out an email thanking you for your time, but also I'll include a couple of links to some videos that will help support some of the unique experiences that I'll get into in a minute. Before that, though, the cross-country or Nordic skiing, very unique in Sun Peaks. The purple line going from the top of the map down to the bottom or middle left, that's actually the Morrissey chairlift. And unique in Sun Peaks, guests with a Nordic pass can actually go up the chairlift and ski the backside of the mountain, Mount Morrissey, which is actually out of bounds for alpine skiers, and have a gentle descent down to McGillivray Lake, which is outlined on the map down on the bottom right, and then a gentle descent back to the village. And that tour takes anyone from takes anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to complete that circuit. So it's a good half day or full day tour around there. For those that are very ambitious, they can actually do that route twice in a day. But I don't think too many do that. Throughout the winter season, virtually every weekend, we've got great celebrations and events and festivities. Stay tuned. There'll be more to come on this later. This is just a real snapshot of some of the key events or key times to be around. You'll see the top there, the holiday celebrations around Christmas. We've got the skiing and skating with Santa, breakfast with Santa. That happens on December 22nd to 24th. For guests that you have that are arriving earlier in mid-December, we actually have an Santa's Alpine Visit, and that's generally the second weekend in December. And it's a great time to be up here. The village is animated with music, and we've got different animated characters walking around, polar bear mascots, etc., maple taffy on the snow. Really a nice time to be around. We also operate similar to like a farmer's market, where we've got a lot of local artisans come up and set up their booths through the village concourse. It's a great way to buy a few little trinkets and souvenirs, last-minute Christmas presents, etc. And it's a little bit quieter time on the mountain, so a very safe feeling, lots of room to breathe, lots of room to move. With that, in January, we've obviously this will be the 11th annual Sun Peaks Family Cup. So this is a family-friendly or group-friendly race where anyone of any ability can hop on a pair of skis, and it's a modified dual giant slalom course. You do 2 runs down the course, and people are awarded for the fastest time, the slowest time, the closest time differential. You're graded or competing for yourself, for your family as a family group or unit, and also for your country. I am sad to say that up until 2 years ago, the Australian families actually dominated this event, and they held the cup for the first 9 years, essentially. The year after that, the Kiwis took it, if you can imagine, and last year, the Brits took it. So if you can let your clients know that are coming over that they need to get their skis tuned up before they hop into this race and get the cup back. Right after the Family Cup, which is great for everybody, is the Okanagan Wine Festival. And this will be the 19th year of it. It's going this year from January 13th to the 22nd. It's a very popular time to come, particularly on the weekends. So if you have clients looking to book at Sun Peaks in mid-January, book it now. Accommodation will be very difficult to come as we get closer to the winter season. But it's a great time to be here. For those that aren't familiar, the Wine Festival or wineries in British Columbia, there's actually over 300 of them. They're all within about a 4-hour drive, and most of them will come up during or be part of this festival. They do 4 festivals through the year, and the Sun Peaks one is really the highlight for us for the entire year. As a family-friendly resort, we've got some animation and activities every day for those that want to take a break from skiing, or potentially a family group that have some non-skiers there. There's something going on all the time. The First Tracks Breakfast is a great way to get out there as an exclusive experience on the mountain, and something as simple as a snowshoe, campfire, and s'mores cookout. It's just an amazing way to get out into the wilderness in Canada and really embrace that real magical feeling. So I'm going to flip through a few of these other slides. The fondue dinner and evening descent, that's one of the real videos that I really want you to take a look at. It's only a couple minutes long. Once that email comes through, it's beautifully done, and it'll really give you a sense of what this experience is all about. It's the signature activity of Sun Peaks. So if you have clients that are coming for the first time, it's a must-do. If you have clients that are coming for a second or third time, most likely they'll be doing this every time they come. It's just that good. Variety of different snowmobile tours. The Cat Tracks Groomer Ride is very unique. If you have some clients that are interested in big machinery, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock every night, there's an opportunity to hop in the cab of one of these big machines, and they go out for about an hour and groom the mountain. It's a great way to see how the groomers work and how they maintain the resort, and possibly show them where the best grooming is for the next morning when they get out there on their own. Snowshoeing, dog sledding, again, I'll just flip through a few of these non-ski activities. Essentially everything that you could imagine that a world-class resort should have, we have it. The difference is it's very unique here is that it's very participatory in terms of the dog sledding. You can just sit in the sled and a tour guide can take you around. Most of our guests get up, they get taught how to harness the dogs, they meet them in the kennels, they get up and they actually learn how to mush their own sled. So they're very involved in it. I can't say the same about the Cat Track Groomer Ride. I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to drive it. We've got the Kamloops Blazers Ice Hockey is down in Kamloops, about 45-minute drive away. During the home games, we actually have coaches that come up, pick up our guests about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, drive them down to Kamloops where they can get a bite to eat, and hop over and have take advantage of some of the best junior hockey you can see in Canada, if not the world. The Blazers are a WHL team, which is one step down from the pros. Most of these guys are already signed on, and as they get a little bit older, and they'll get called up into the pros. But what's quite nice about this level of hockey is all these guys are still really trying to fight for their spot to make it to the big leagues. So it's pretty intense hockey. I don't condone fighting, but for some of our international guests, they want to go see a hockey game, and if a fight breaks out at a game, that's a bit of an added value, added bonus for them. All right. So yeah, again, the tube park, the snow bikes, some real great alternatives for adding on to a great ski holiday. The snow limo on the right-hand side here, it's quite a unique product. It's for able-bodied people. We've got a lot of multi-generational vacationers that come. Maybe grandma and grandpa paid for the family to go on a ski holiday, but they sit in the lodge and by the fire while everyone else is playing on the mountain because they don't or they can't ski. This is actually an opportunity for them to get onto the snow limo. This guide will take them virtually anywhere on the mountain. They could follow along the kids playing in the terrain park, or even just get up on top of the mountain and have a look around. Take some photos. For those of you that may not have been on the top of a mountain in Canada in the wintertime, the skyline is absolutely stunning. From the top of the mountain in Sun Peaks, you can actually see 5 separate mountain ranges. You're at about 7,000 feet, which is just over 2,000 meters high. The other thing with the snow limo, for those that are going to partake in the fondue dinner, you have to ski down. If you're a non-skier or not comfortable skiing in the dark, the only other option to get down is by booking the snow limo, who can come up and take you down from the fondue dinner. Very limited in quantity though, so book that well in advance if that's the case. All right, so we're into the accommodation here. I'm going to flip through a few of our accommodation provider slides. There'll be some stats for each of the different room types. We've got an overnight capacity of 7,000, and that's it's an interesting number. We've got 4,270 acres of skiable terrain and only 7,000 pillows. So if you put that into comparison, like let's say a Big White, they've got 2,700 acres of terrain. It's about 1,500 acres less terrain than we have, but they have an overnight capacity of 17,000, where we only have 7. So when we're talking in Sun Peaks about wide open space, no lift lines, runs to yourself, it's a fact. Conversely, if we talk about a Whistler, they've got twice as much terrain. It's absolutely huge, good skiing. They've got an overnight capacity of close to 70,000. So while they have twice as much terrain, they have the potential of 10 times the amount of people. So when we're looking at Sun Peaks, it is really truly a Canadian experience with that fresh air, open space, a little more laid back. So getting right in with Bear Country, Kookaburra Lodge opened up in 2009. They've got 16 apartments, as you can see here. I won't get into all the details for each property or units. We'll send a link to this training presentation for you as well, so you can go back later, so you don't have to take a bunch of notes right now. Kookaburra is a premier property. If you have clients looking at a little bit higher end apartment style, full kitchens, etc., private hot tubs, then this is a good option. Through Bear Country though, they've also got a tremendous amount of inventory for condominiums, and I'm just going to flip to the next one, and townhouses as well. So just outside the village core, 2 to 4 bedroom units, so great for multifamily or a little bit larger groups coming over. They are just outside the village core, so depending on where they're located in the resort, there could be a 5 or 10 minute walk to the village. They are, however, almost all ski in, ski out, or ski in, walk out, because of the way the design of the village and the mountains rotate around it. And this is where we'd highly recommend first-timers to go out with those Sun hosts on the day they arrive and let them know they're staying at Trappers Landing or Woodhaven, because the host will take them past their condo during the tour. So the Hearthstone Lodge right in the base of the village there. You can see a bunch of the amenities there. Complimentary Wi-Fi nowadays is pretty much standard. They've got a couple of great outdoor hot tubs, some meeting space as well. If you have any groups that are coming over and they want to do a bit of buffet dinners or self-catered dinners and that, this might be a good option to use their meeting facilities there. Sun Peaks Lodge, just adjacent to the Hearthstone there, more of a boutique property. They've got a lot of connecting rooms, which, while they don't have the kitchenettes, they offer continental breakfast because they have they own the steakhouse, which is within the property as well. Very boutique style, higher end, just a great property and an incredible service there. They've also got jacuzzi, sauna, etc., and a bunch of different amenities and retail space in just outside the doors there. Going over to the Coast Sundance Lodge, again, right at the base of the two main chairlifts there. Most of their units have at least a kitchenette or full kitchens. They've got a number of different on-site cafes and souvenir shops. Little insider tip, if you're sending clients for the first time, make sure they check out Balako Cafe. I thought Canadians had a coffee fetish, but I know it doesn't stand a chance against the Aussies. They have probably the best coffee in the village. That's Balako Cafe, located in the Coast Sundance Lodge. For those that are sending repeat clients over here, I'm quite positive they've already found that cafe. So towards the upper end of the village there, still ski in, ski out, we've got Nancy Green's Keilty Lodge. And if you recall, I was speaking about Nancy Green, the Olympian and senator. She spends her winters in this hotel. In the lobby of the hotel here, she's got her trophy case. And whether your guests stay in this property or not, tell them to pop over to the lobby and just have a look around. It's got Olympic posters since the beginning of time, virtually. But in the trophy case is the gold and silver medal from Grenoble in 1968. It's got the Olympic torch that lit the Vancouver Olympics in 2010, and Nancy was a part of that celebration. So it's really a neat sort of look at the Canadian ski royalty, for lack of a better word. They've got the second largest number of available rooms, so from lodge rooms up to 2-bedroom units with full kitchens. They've got over 177 units available, along with some 2-bedroom units that are still available right now, but are in very high demand. And I noted earlier, our Megan here, just came back from the ski shows, speaking with a lot of the operators down there, and the 2-bedroom units in the village core are quickly being scooped up and booked up for that January period. So again, if you have any clients looking at getting to Sun Peaks, now is the time to make those calls and get them in if they're looking for a 2 or bigger unit in the village core. Moving over to the Sun Peaks Grand, it's our flagship property, so to speak. It's our largest, 220 rooms. They've got 3 on-site restaurants, an outdoor heated pool and hot tub. So it's great for families in that sense. They've got a few different room types available as well. Obviously the concierge service and room service, etc., from their food and beverage outlet. So it's a great option. And then the residences. These are again in very high demand. There's only 40 units available. They have in-suite laundry, so they're great for longer stays, and obviously high-end fixtures and furnishings there. They're a call and request in that they are. It's a stratified property, so from time to time units will be available. So if any of you have looked and tried to get one of the units previously and haven't found an alternative that suits your client's needs, then do phone back or email back, because from time to time they will become available once the owners of the units release some of the dates. The Sun Peaks Grand Hotel itself has 4 of these kitchenette units, which are connecting rooms with a kitchenette, as you can see here. Everything but a stove top, everything but an oven. So full-size fridge. It's a great alternative to the residences if your clients are still looking for that 4-star property and the amenities that go along with it, like the outdoor heated pool and hot tubs, etc. So that's wrapped up. I'm not sure how long I was, about 20 minutes or so. Quick overview, a couple of the new things for next winter, and we'll follow up with an email with this presentation along with a couple of clips from some videos that'll help help augment my description of some of the non-ski activities that are really out of this world in Sun Peaks. So I hope some of you have some questions. Happy to answer them, and if not, we'll see you down the road.
Colin,
Charlie,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here. Thank you so much. I was mesmerized by your presentation.
I've got that radio voice.
It's a fantastic update. Thank you so much. Guys, the floor is open for questions. So if anybody has any questions for Colin, please get typing now. I've written down so many notes, so fantastic, and I've been there as well, as you know. So yeah, always gets me very excited. Such a fantastic place to visit in the winter.
Or summer.
Any questions? Or in the summer. So how long do people usually stay in the summer?
Well, that's a loaded question. We do in summertime. We're grateful for our escorted tour business. So anyone selling scenic, evergreen, APT, Trafalgar escorted tours, they'll generally use Sun Peaks on 1, maybe 2 night stays, going from Vancouver or Whistler to the Rockies. So that sort of sways our overnight or our room night length of stay in the summertime. So right now we're at 1.9 nights in summer. But if we took out those escorted tour businesses, we'd be about 2 to 3 nights, I'm sure. Our regional market's 3 to 4. So they'll come for long weekends, take in the activities, the golf course, the concerts, that kind of thing, and they'll make a long weekend out of it.
Cool, thank you. Still no other questions coming through. So Colin, you covered it all. Have you done the Segway?
The winter Segway?
Yeah, have you done the winter Segway?
No, I haven't yet.
They actually like a lot of fun.
Yeah, they did some a lot of this past winter. They did a lot of testing on where they can go and what kind of conditions. I will say this, and this is a bit of not a drawback to the event or the activity. We don't get big dumps of snow here, like a meter of snow overnight, but what Sun Peaks is renowned for is getting a lot of nights with 10 or 15 centimeters overnight. That's not good for the Segway experience. It has to be hard-packed, groomed. So a lot of times the Segway tours in the winter that they've tested have been delayed until the groomer's going to get out and pack down the trails. But that's a good problem to have because we always appreciate lots of fresh powder.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually a good problem. Like for a skier to have 10 to 15 consistently overnight is yeah, that's pretty amazing. So the Segways can wait. It's fine.
I have done the Segway tour in the summertime though, and it's pretty outstanding. They've actually got a new program in summer, and it's called a Segway Safari. It's about 4 hours, and they go out to Little McGillivray Lake, and they actually get to Segway past an active beaver lodge. So it's a real interesting, low-impact way to get out into nature. And because everything's so quiet, it's a very good chance to see wildlife in its natural environment: bears, cougars, moose, beaver.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hmm.
Nice one. Yeah, a wildlife tour on your Segway.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't have a wine tour on your Segway for the wine festival.
Well, as a matter of fact, no, not right now. But I like the idea.
No drinking and Segwaying. It's not allowed.
No.
Alrighty. Well, there's definitely no questions out there, so we will sign off there. But Colin, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Fantastic update. Exciting that there's so many new things for Sun Peaks for next winter, so that's fantastic. And everybody, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. As Colin said, there will be follow-up and we will have some videos for you, so stay posted for those. All right, everybody, have a great day.